want to ask you about Auston Matthews now.
Yeah.
That's kind of another question I have. So, I thought in this game defensively he was great.
Hmm.
He made a lot of good defensive plays, especially in the first and third period. He was a little quiet in the second period. I was wondering where the hell is he? When we need our biggest dog to step up, especially offensively. Where is he? But I want to ask you: was this enough to start to change the needle in his narrative? We got your input on Hellebuck. But was this enough for Matthews to kind of move the needle in his conversation?
Wow, I'm sitting firmly on the fence on this, but I will tell you this. This is where I believe it is. Auston Matthews, we know he can score at will. Okay. He hasn't scored the big goal. Okay. We know that. He didn't score in this overtime. Okay. He hasn't scored a big goal as a Maple Leaf, right? Like an overtime series winner, a big goal to, go ahead in a game seven. But his defensive play to me stood out because the team needed that in this game. Yeah, they needed scoring. We know that, but they won. Okay. Hindsight's 2020. They won the game. His defensive efforts to me showed a major maturity in his game at his age where now he's in his prime right now. If your top center can play both sides of the puck, he can score 70 goals. He can score goals. He reinvented the way shooters release a wrist shot and a snapshot. Um, he's a shooter. He's a goal scorer. We're still waiting for the big one. That might come as a Leaf. That might come down the road as an American representative. But I will say the way he played on defense in the last three games of this tournament against Sweden and definitely against Canada, that's elevated Auston Matthews in my eyes. He's no longer just your, oh, okay, he can score goals, but you can't really rely on him on defense. Um, Add that now to not only the Olympic gold he just earned, but to his resume. So I do think it's enough. What about you, Steve?
Yeah, I kind of agree. I think it is enough at this stage. I think when you take a look at him and you put him into different, situation, obviously when he's over in Toronto, I think when he's in Toronto, he's going to need to produce more than he did in the Olympics. I think in the
Mm-hmm.
Olympics, it's a little bit of a different conversation, considering all the dogs that are on that team. But when he's in Toronto, he needs to play like McDavid level, MVP, best player, and he is honestly their X factor. No, what
Yeah.
McDavid gives you is going to determine how far the Leafs go. It's a little similar to the New York Yankees and how Aaron Judge. Judge is going to determine how far the Yankees go. It's the same situation in Toronto. So I do agree with you. I think situation's a little bit different, but I would still question. He's going to need to give more. He's going to need to give more in Toronto for the Leafs. So I question if he could give you that McDavid level performance. But in terms of this Olympics, I agree with you. I think he was fine.